This is a special Gauntlet Saturday night. And this is the Gauntlet playoff scenario edition. It's your boy Denzel Snipes, a.k.a. Call of Duty Gauntlet Ops. And to your right is going to be James Tatum. Right below him is Kendall Whitley, the Pats man himself. And to the left of him is Dom DeRubeis, Detroit Dom. So we're live here. This is something that we normally don't do. Last night we had some technical difficulties, but it only is going to lead. All that road leads us to here, and that is Gauntlet Saturday, baby. The crazy part about it is we haven't had a Gauntlet on a Saturday in I think about 2 years. It actually used to be a staple. We were on Saturdays, and then we were like, we're going to enjoy our Saturdays, so we decided to go on, on Fridays.
We used to do Saturdays. I totally forgot.
But you know what?
We've done this show on every day of the week at this point.
I was going to say, something about this felt a little bit familiar.
But before we get started, I gotta look. I'm looking to the left, and I see there's a guy Silver in the comments. Silver the Barber, vote for the Beat Barber himself. Go to the link and vote so he could put down that beat on the next NBA 2K game. He's got dope fire ass beats for that ass for the 2.5 and beyond, and been doing it. Long said you probably was a little thought in your daddy nutsack, but he was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has been doing it. He has been doing it for a long time. He works. He really works really hard. So everyone, go check out Silverback Monstertainment and see what he has. I'm actually gonna play one of his beats that he sent me, the Philly beat, the Eagles beat for the playoffs. I'm just gonna play this so you guys can get a taste of what he can do. All right. But start the segments. Keep the show going.
All right. Well, with that being said, so we got some brand new flavor for you here, okay? And we're gonna start off with a new segment invented by the one to the bottom, Dom DeRubeis, and that is the blind resume. So without further ado, Dom, kick it off. What you got for us?
Blind resume, unofficially brought to you by Monaco Purple Crush. Bring up the graphic.
All right, go ahead.
The graphic. Okay. You got 4 quarterbacks. Quarterback A, quarterback B, quarterback C, quarterback D. As we can all see, you see their win-loss records. This is from the beginning of last year until week 16 of this season, I believe. You see their win-loss records. Completion percentage, touchdowns, that's total touchdowns. They are 4 very worthy MVP candidates this year. 4 top-notch guys, not necessarily all in the elite category, but I'm sure 4 guys that none of us would mind having on our teams. So you can look at the numbers. They're all pretty similar. Win-loss record, again, completion percentage, total touchdowns. Jay, who are you rolling with?
I'm looking at quarterback B because, so truthfully, all 4 of them aren't far apart in wins or even losses. But I like B because he's got a healthy balance of completion percentage and touchdowns as well. I'm going to take quarterback B.
Okay. James?
When I'm looking at this, it's kind of hard, but
it's hard. That's the idea.
It's about putting points on the board at the end of the day. And there's one outlier. One guy has 81 touchdowns, and that's a little bit higher than the rest of the guys. So I'm rolling with quarterback D.
Kendall, who you got?
I think I'm going to go with quarterback D too, man. Jay just said it pretty good, man. 81 touchdowns, about putting points on the board. I like the 65% completion percentage or whatnot. Or I'm going to go with 81 touchdowns.
Eddie, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 81 touchdowns.
All right. And, all right. Well, with that being said, I guess, Dom, who do we got?
I would pick quarterback D for the same reason as James, total touchdowns. Kendall, who'd you take?
Quarterback D.
Everyone picked D. I picked B.
D.
Okay. All right, big reveal. Quarterback A is Jared Goff. Quarterback B is Lamar Jackson. Quarterback C, with the paltry amount of touchdowns compared to the rest, is actually your reigning. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Lamar's the reigning MVP. Your reigning back-to-back Super Bowl champion,
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Quarterback D is your probably MVP favorite, Josh Allen.
And that's
Not
based
bad.
off of this season? Or when?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I mean,
Josh has been
would I give it
one of the
to
favorites
Josh
for
Allen?
MVP.
No, I would not. I would give it to Saquon Barkley. But sadly, we know it's a quarterback award, so it's probably going to go to Josh Allen. Unless, God forbid, if KC can catch that flight to Denver and their backups lose, and since he wins, then I'm giving the MVP to Joe Burrow if he makes the playoffs. That
That's a
dude
good
is not. He's God level right now.
Yeah, Josh Allen, the 81 to of course.
And I'm
that is
pretty
a shocker.
sure if we threw up his numbers real quick up there right now, other than his win-loss percentage, he'd be right there with all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And then when you look at Lamar Jackson, and he was quarterback B, correct? Now he's the reigning back-to-back MVP. That's completion percentage at 68% for a quarterback that can't throw, right? Like they would have been saying.
Spectacular.
Well, he's the reigning MVP. He's won
Spectacular
two
for
MVP.
Lamar Jackson.
He's won two MVPs, but he's not back to back.
I was talking about everybody else who said he can't throw. They still call him a running back and everything. And granted, he doesn't have 81 total touchdowns, but also he's on a team that likes to run the football. You figure Derrick Henry and other running backs are getting touchdowns as well. So I mean, that's taking the load off of Lamar Jackson. Like Henry scored twice tonight, right? So I mean, I think everyone feels safe with their picks here. I understand.
But now knowing who the quarterbacks are, how would you rank them 1 through 4?
I would still take B. I would still take B because
DVAC.
yeah, I would say B. I would say B, D,
Mahomes,
BDAC. Mahomes is last. Sorry,
Mahomes-
he's last.
not overall. No, Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league. Then I would go Josh. Then I would go Lamar. Then I would go Jared Goff.
Yeah, I meant of the
Yeah.
four. Of the four,
I would go Mahomes.
I'm fine with Goff being fourth.
Yeah, I'd go Mahomes, Allen, Lamar,
Just
and
to be
Goff.
mentioned in the same breath with those other three guys, it's, we're just happy to be here.
Yeah,
No, I think there's something to be said with what we've been seeing in the league, and Jared Goff was kind of the first person we saw that have a really strong resurgence. Now you're seeing it all the time. Now you're seeing Baker's done it. Now Sam Darnold's done it. So, the book is not closed on these quarterbacks. So don't be surprised if there's some more surprising names that come up in the future. But with that said, guys, let's move on to the Gauntlet
I would
Grinders.
just like to interject and say that Osar Thompson's bowels are empty because he has been shitting all over Rudy Gobert for an entire half.
but that's not exactly an accomplishment. It's Rudy Gobert. Think about it. But anyway, we're going on to Gauntlet Grinders, and these are our top performing players from.
He is a melanin advanced John Bradley.
Pretty much. Start over with you, JT. Who you got for your Gauntlet Grinders, man?
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, we were just talking about him. 300-plus yards on Christmas Day, including this gift right here. Patrick finds Kelsey in the end zone, and there's no one around him. Just a complete busted coverage from Patrick Queen, I think, was the guy defending. You just can't do stuff like that against this team. And then C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 2 interceptions on the day, including this pick 6 against the Cowboys. Eagles rout the Cowboys, clinched the number 2 seed and the division title 41-7 all over Dallas.
Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes still out there, definitely grinding it, and they're shooting to be the first three-peat Super Bowl champion. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, in Philly, made a short stop in Detroit, now back in Philly, and Philly is looking to be in prime position to take the NFC after closing out the NFC East last Sunday. Swinging on down to Ken Dog. Who you got? Gauntlet Grinders.
Lad McConkey from the Chargers, wide receiver. Hates me to say it, man. They torched the Patriots in New England last week. And oh my gosh, why did we took Jalen? We traded back with the Chargers, took Jalen Pope out of Washington or whatnot, and we passed up on Lad McConkey. Man, it eats me alive. I haven't got a bit of sleep all week. I kind of knew he was going to do that to us in the game like that too, man. But Lad McConkey, he's my Gauntlet Grinder of the week, man. Fantastic player. Boy, he would look good in New England.
All right.
Yeah, continuing the heritage of white wide receivers.
Will you mute and unmute him? Like, y'all can hear him, but I can't.
Oh, Jay?
Kendall.
He can't
Kendall.
hear me.
Okay. All right, keep going, Jay, while we work on
Okay.
this.
Well, we're just swinging on to Dom. Dom, who you got for your Gauntlet Grinders, man?
NFC, Kirby Joseph, 6 tackles, 2 picks, should have been 3. Had one that got called back, went ahead and got that pick back on the next play, and then another one. He just matrixed. I swear to God, he's done it all year. Like, anytime an errant throw is made by a quarterback, he just shows up and he's right there, and he's got the ball. That is NFL leading picks number 8 and 9 for the season, although snubbed for the Pro Bowl, even though he was the number 1 vote getter in the NFC at free safety. But again, we don't care about Pro Bowls, and much like Amon-Ra, last year, the year before, he might get snubbed from the Pro Bowl, but I'm guessing there's a very good chance that an All-Pro selection is in the works. You see it right there, wide open.
Look at Brock Purdy's face.
There he is. Pew! Like, oh no. There go that man again.
And then your second grinder? That guy right there.
AFC, at the ripe old age of 31 years old. Former Lions running back, now a Las Vegas Raider, Amir Abdullah, 20 carries, 115 yards, first 100 year. Seems like he's been in the league 100 years. First 100-yard game of his career. Still in there, putting in work. I can't really call it a big win for the Raiders. It was the toilet bowl game against the Saints. Probably screwed their draft pick, but don't worry. Jalen Milroe will still be there for you in the first round, Raiders. Never fear.
He should have come back another year. Milrose really declared for the draft.
He still might.
Oh, the quarterback class isn't particularly great anyway, so
It's not good
Why not?
at all.
Well, lastly, I'll go. And my first Gauntlet Grinder is a wide receiver, T. Higgins, in a win versus Denver in overtime, 30-24, to keep their playoff hopes alive. He had 11 receptions for 131 and 3 touchdowns, receiving 11.9 yards per catch. Was this his final home game? Who knows? My NFC Grinder, quarterback Drew Lock, 17 of 23 for 309.
Speaking
5
of blowing your
carries,
draft pick.
5 total touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes, 1 running. The Giants don't even know how to damn tank right, but hey, I guess they still got a top 5 pick. They beat the Colts in a surprising shootout, 45-33. And and look at that, the Bengals just scored. Those are my Gauntlet Grinders. The Bengals keeping their playoff hopes alive. Jamar Chase just scored a touchdown just now. We'll see how that game plays out after the show's over with. But those are my Gauntlet Grinders. Shout out to Drew Lock. He's usually good for 1 game a year for this. And it's anyone's guess if they'll get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or whoever the Giants may decide to pick up. But when we return, we're going to go on to our staple favorite and long-time resident segment, Sports Moron of the Week. We got to pay some bills. Be right back. Get it off your chest. That's Sports Moron of the Week, baby. I'm talking about the most outlandish acts and takes from athletes, analysts, and the rest of the sports world. So if it's anybody, even everybody in the comments, y'all usually good for it. Whoever you think is Sports Moron of the Week, we'll bring it up on the screen. But we're going to take it to the panel. Sports Moron of the Week. JT, who you got?
got something to show you guys real quick, and then I'm gonna get it off my chest.
Oh boy.
You look at their play. I mean, they have 2 big runs and 3 good deep shots. Other than that, we made them earn it, and you take away the scoreboard. It was about 5 plays that decided this game. And
Yo, did anybody see Unk in the back? Like, yo, is he really saying this shit right now? JT, go ahead, bro. It don't stop.
I've never seen this before. I've seen a lot of shit in my life, but after losing to somebody by 30-something points, mind you, the Cowboys have been playing pretty well. They won like last 3 of their last 4 games. Defense was playing good. They come out, they give up 40-something points. And mind you, every Eagles quarterback has thrown a touchdown against the Cowboys defense this season. Jalen Hurts did it. Tanner McKee did it. Kenny Pickett did it. So it was just a complete annihilation. And for you to sit here and say, well, if you take away the scoreboard, I've never heard that ever in my life. And the Cowboys...
Well, it's really only those 5 plays. Yeah, all 5 that went for touchdowns.
5. If you take away 5 touchdowns, yeah, it would have been close. But here's the worst part of it for me. Let's say that you took away some of these plays. Let's say you did that. The Cowboys allowed 34 unanswered points. They scored 7, did nothing the rest of the game, turned the ball over, I think, 4 times in the game. So even if the Eagles only scored 20 points or 13 points or even 10, they still would have won the game. So I just don't know what we're doing here. But Micah Parsons, Sports Moron of the Year, and maybe a candidate for Sports Moron of the Year coming up for the Gauntlet.
See this?
What is that?
That is a man planking on one hand with a chihuahua in a K jersey dancing on his back.
And this is why you shouldn't drink Four Loko. You know what this reminds me of?
Entertainment.
And it's kind of they probably serve Four Loko in that arena, but this reminds me, and it's kind of the opposite. But y'all remember years ago when the Seahawks, Michael Bennett said that every game in the NFL is decided by 1 point unless you're playing the Jaguars, then it's decided by 33 points, and then they went and lost to the Jags. Like you say shit like this, and if you take away the scoreboard, what the fuck is the point of the game? Like, okay, like I can't even classify that as a coping mechanism, but obviously we classify it as a Sports Moron. But we're gonna swing it down to Ken Dog. Who you got for Sports Moron, man? You got somebody?
Man, if y'all ain't got this as y'all Sports Moron, what about Nick Wright? I'm sure y'all got the video, whatnot, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Go ahead and just put.
Wait, which one?
The one
I think he's got the same one as you, Dom.
Yeah, dude. One about
he's got the same one as you.
Trading Drake May, trading back, pushing George Sanders, and all that crazy sports talk.
Clip.
All right, I'm about to play it since
You can have the thunder because it's your team, Ken.
Since both of you have the same Sports Moron, I'm going to play the clip.
Deal. Every option needs to be on the table with the number 1 pick. Every option. If they love a left tackle, even if the whole media is like, it's got to be Travis Hunter, you got to do it. If they love Travis Hunter, you got to do it.
Time for the real thing, Bill.
If they want to do what the Bears did 2 years ago and trade the pick for a bounty of stuff, if that's available to them, and it's not available every year, right. You got to do it. You got to do it. And you also have to deeply and thoroughly investigate or, figure out how much you like Shedeur Sanders and or Cam Ward. And if you feel like this year's QB1 that you can pick, you can decide who it is, you like more than last year's QB3, who you have, then you must shop Drake May. And if as an added bonus, because I know Wilds thinks Drake May is awesome, if the Titans agree with you, who have the number 2 pick, and the Titans are like, listen, we would take Shedeur, but if you guys take him, we like Drake May more than Cam Ward. As an added bonus, you have a chance to truly revamp the New England Patriots by going Shedeur Sanders 1, Travis Hunter 2, Deion Sanders head coach, and say you turned the worst college program around in 2 years. Have a shot at the worst.
And cut. Go ahead, Joe.
Bro, like, what is Nick Wright got going on, man? I can't wait to see him out there in the Super Bowl in a few weeks, man. I'll be out there whatnot. I'm gonna confront him about that, cause that really, I'm like, what was he thinking?
Hey, if you want to swing on him, I got your bail money.
Like, yeah, Fox, they gonna be out there. I'm gonna ask him about that. I'm like, what was he thinking? I mean, we just got Drake May. Drake May looks good. He looked good this year. But what the Patriots got around him, man, I think he's been the most impressive rookie quarterback with what he's working with. He's been the most impressive rookie quarterback. 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions and whatnot. I just need to have a bad game tomorrow so we can get number 1 overall pick. But man,
think about Nick Wright
man,
is
like that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't understand.
like it's one thing to say shit that's shocking that you could navigate a way to where it makes sense, but I can't make any sense out of that.
No, it doesn't make sense. And the thing that I think the Patriots should do is obviously keep Drake May, because if Drake was coming out for this season, he would be the number 1
Nick
quarterback.
Wright,
For sure.
heavy favorite for
And
Sports
also-
Moron of the year.
And also, the Patriots have an opportunity if they have the number 1 pick because of what they can get. They can get a massive haul if they trade it to a team like the New York Giants that wants one of these quarterbacks. And you can actually build a team around a quarterback that you already took last year.
We need a lot of talent. We need a lot of talent.
Yeah. And you can get it. You got a good chance to do it if you make the right moves. But
We
that's
lose.
what I got to say on that.
So I got a different one real quick
Sure.
from Nick Wright's bastard father, Skip Bayless, who recently said, "Oh, watching the way the CFP's going, I could see Colorado running through all these teams." What?
Didn't they just lose to BYU?
Yes.
Didn't didn't Colorado just always lose to anyone they played in the top 25 ever in the Deion Sanders era? But they're gonna run through. They would run through these guys. Get out of here, Skip Bayless.
Looking at the college football playoffs, only one that, from the way everyone's been playing, the only ones that they might have a shot against, considering how they showed up the other night, is Boise State. And even then, that's a big maybe.
Yeah, maybe they could have beat Boise State. Maybe they would have had a shot.
I think they probably wouldn't have,
lost
so.
in the first round, or any of those teams that got a bye that shouldn't have. But come on,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
mean, maybe SMU, but that's it. But does he really think, the Final Four right now, does he really think that Colorado could beat Texas, Penn State, who else? Texas, Penn State, Ohio
I
State.
mean, Penn State maybe, because they can't beat anyone ever when it matters.
I don't think they would beat anybody. I don't think they would have beat Clemson. I don't think they would have beat Texas, Ohio State, or any of these teams.
No, because they're all ranked higher than Colorado has ever been ranked.
I don't think they would beat SMU. I don't think they would beat Boise State.
Or Notre
I don't think they
Dame.
would beat any. Who could they actually beat? Because every time we have seen them play a great competition, they get their ass kicked. So it's just a show. It's just Deion with the sunglasses and the chain, and look at what he's doing. But against the competition, they do absolutely nothing.
And that's no shade to Coach Prime, like it's just his team isn't quite ready yet. Now they haven't improved.
I've got cool shades and a chain. Can I go coach Colorado?
Coach Dom.
No.
Coach Dom. But
I might not quite have the recruiting power that he does.
well, that's all we got for Sports Moron. And when we come back, we will be hitting you with the main topic of the week. Stay tuned. All right. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell for all updates. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. NFL Week 18 playoff scenarios. So we have the NFC North Division Championship game with the number 1 seed on the line. The 7th seed is up for grabs in the AFC. What do you guys see happening? What do you like? What do you dislike? JT, starting with you.
I'm going to start with the NFC. I like the way what Minnesota has been playing lately. But for some reason, I just can't trust this team to go beat Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be number 1 seed. Minnesota's going to be the 5 seed. And this is going to cause a whole hoopla uproar about the playoff format. And everyone's going to say that it needs to change.
As it should.
I don't think it should change. I think it should stay the way it is. I also don't think them adding a playoff seed serves any purpose other than to make the NFL more money. I thought the format originally was fine, but you win your division, you get an automatic home game. I think that's the way it should be. It's always been that way. So people just like to change everything. I don't think this is a change that's warranted. But back to the game, I think Detroit's a better team. I think Detroit will probably be in the NFC Championship against the Eagles. I like Minnesota, but I just don't love them. I know they've won 14 games.
Go Bear again.
I don't think this team is Super Bowl caliber, in other words. So I think Detroit will win the division. They will be number 1 seed, and that's it. Second, I think a lot has to happen for Cincinnati to get in. I think they're going to do everything they can, but ultimately, I think they're just going to fall short because they have to rely on Miami has to lose. Denver has to lose to Kansas City. It's already locked up the number 1 seed, and Carson Wentz is starting this game. Carson Wentz has the playoff hopes of 3 teams in his hands: the Broncos, the Dolphins, and of course the Bengals. And let's just say this is not the guy that you want with the hopes in your hands. Take it from somebody that has experience watching them. So, yeah, I don't think the Bengals are going to be in the playoffs when it's all said and done. I think the Broncos will be the number 7 seed.
All right. And also keep in mind that it's still a toss-up between the Falcons and the Saints. Yeah. With that being said, the loser of Detroit, Minnesota gets the NFC South champion. So, Ken, what do you see happening between the Detroit-Minnesota game, and what do you got happening for the number 7 seed in the AFC, man?
Yeah, toss up between the Falcons and the Bucks. You said the Saints, Falcons.
Falcons and Bucks. My bad. Yeah. Falcons, yeah. Bucks.
Yeah. We keep
Rams, if they lose, they're sitting their starters.
We keep waiting for Sam Darnold to turn back into Sam Darnold, and he hasn't done it yet, man. So I got a feeling Minnesota going to go into Detroit. I think at some point the injuries for Detroit it's going to continue to mount. I mean, they just released Jamal Adams. I think Minnesota goes in there to Detroit. Yes, I don't think they can cover Addison and Jefferson. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the run. I think Brian Flores is going to come in there with a good game plan to get after that offense and kind of cause some problems tomorrow. I think Minnesota gets to 1 seed. I keep saying it.
Brian Flores has gotten absolutely torched by Jared Goff his whole time in Minnesota, but keep going.
We're going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow's what's going to be the ball. And the 7th seed, man, I would love for Cincinnati to get in there because it'd be like, I don't want to see Denver. I think Cincinnati bring a lot more excitement, a lot more storylines for the Bengals. Jamar Chase, Higgins, Burrow. I know the defense is a mess, but they've been playing better right now. So they're playing right now against Pittsburgh. I would love for Cincinnati to get in there. And who knows? I know you said, Jay, about Carson Wentz has people playoff lives in his hands. That's not good, so I agree with you on that. I think it's going to be Denver. Denver gets the 7th seed.
Yep.
Go to Buffalo next week. And listen, I think I said this last week on the show. Denver is a team that can give Buffalo some problems. They are a team that can give them some problems and whatnot. So I'm going to go with the Broncos getting the 7th seed and Minnesota getting that 1 seed. And I guess it'll be Detroit. It'll be in Tampa next week, right? Or either
or LA.
They would face
the Rams lose.
Yeah.
They could be playing the Eagles next week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Minnesota win tomorrow, and I got
not next week, but the divisional.
Denver getting that final seed.
All right, and swinging it over to Dom. What do you see happening with this? We kind of know where you're leaning on the first topic, but please elaborate.
As far as the AFC, Sadly, it's probably Denver that gets it. I have no faith in Carson Wentz or the rest of KC's backups to beat Denver, sadly. And Cincinnati probably still needs too much help. They probably take care of business tonight, but again, they need more help than just that. In the NFC, this is basically, even though it's a regular season game, it's essentially a playoff game. It's two 14-win teams vying for the divisional crown, the number one seed. And it's basically, you win the division, you win the number one seed, you get a week off. I still like Detroit's chances. Like I said, Brian Flores has had no answer for Jared Goff thus far. Our run game is still just as good, if not better. Like, I'll take Jamar Chase. Or, I'm sorry.
Jefferson.
Yeah, I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs heads up against Aaron Jones. And we did a good job for the first, last, and only time ever against Justin Jefferson when we played them earlier in the year. He was under 100 yards. Jalen Naylor actually had more yards. I think Jefferson had a touchdown. But at some point, like Kendall said, this may be the week. It might be this week if they lose, and then next week where you see the Sam Darnold that we know and despise show up. Maybe, maybe not. I expect it to be a shootout, a race to 40, but I'm not going to pick against my team, especially not at home. We beat them on the road. It wasn't like it was a blowout. We beat them by a field goal, but we're still riding high. And 6 weeks ago, Dan Campbell had this game circled on the schedule because it meant, division crown, number one seed, and one less game with the bye, and we need that desperately. Desperately. Alex Anzalone may or may not be back. He practiced most of the week with the club on. I don't know. We'll see. Got flexed to primetime, so a hell of a game. Season finale for between two 14-win teams for the number one seed and the division crown. Should be a hell of a game.
And what do you got for the AFC scenario?
Broncos, unfortunately, much as it pains me. Although, like Ken said, Broncos might pose a bit of a problem for the Bills. Bo Nix and the Broncos, despite what Tyler said early in the year, the Broncos do not, in fact, suck.
Bo Nix does not, in fact, suck.
No. He might win Rookie of the Year.
He might. He just might. It's a toss-up between him and that guy in D.C.
He's not winning it.
But
I don't think so.
Do not
either,
kid yourselves.
It's nice to just have a legitimate race.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think Daniels is going to win it, but
There is no race.
But yeah, I think after last Sunday night against the Falcons, Jaden Daniels may have solidified.
Anytime you turn on the TV, anytime you turn on ESPN, Fox, whatever sports network, all they talk about is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels this, Jaden Daniels that, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so the media picks the MVP now? Oh, wait, yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, wait,
They do. Media
wait,
votes
they do.
on all the awards. So if you think Bo Nix has a chance, don't kid yourself. He doesn't.
Shout out to Monaco Purple Crush. You do good work.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I think as far as Detroit, Minnesota, now keep in mind the first meeting was a game that Minnesota looked to run away with, and then, no. Detroit was looking to run away with the game. Then Minnesota came back. Then Detroit found a way to win the game still, right?
No, Minnesota was up.
Yeah, after they came back, and then y'all kicked the winning field goal. This time around, I know Minnesota's going to look at it as, we can't make those same mistakes. Dom has it raced to 40. I have a race to 30. I say 31-28 Detroit. At the end of the day, it's going to be the adjustments and the risk-taking, not the overly risk-taking, but we know what Dan Campbell is. Dan Campbell has a gambling addiction. We all know this. No, not, money. But
you live by the guns, you die by the gun.
Yeah, you know,
They can
and
get away with it now, but when the postseason comes, I don't know.
yeah. And that's really what it's about, because you see that's what it came down to in last year's NFC Championship game. By the end of the day, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be.
Probably would have won if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. Well, you know, you
It
take
wasn't even
those
him
field
being
goals.
too risky.
That made the difference.
We had a field goal kicker we couldn't rely on, and we puckered. That moment was too big for us.
But still, you got to take those
help,
points.
but that wasn't why we lost.
Bill, you probably would have won the game if you took the points.
Yeah,
you didn't lose by much.
Well, yeah, and that's just the thing, Dom. You figure you can live with the missed field goal, but what you can't live with is not attempting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you at least gotta. If he misses it, okay, it just wasn't his night. But he didn't even attempt. Like, he gambled. Like, what was it, 2 times?
Oh, off your foot, and give him a tack.
And then, and that ended up being the difference. So,
Give him a tack.
As far as the game goes, I got Detroit winning this one, and then Minnesota's going to travel to either Tampa or Atlanta. They travel to Atlanta. If Atlanta wins the division, this is Penix's 4th start in a playoff game against. I don't give him a chance in that one, but it's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens. As far as the AFC, unfortunately, I don't see Miami doing anything. Tua is out, and I don't know why this itches as a game the Jets are going to win. But Miami will be out of it. Now, out of Denver,
Aaron Rodgers back.
Out of Denver and Cincinnati, let's see here. Now, the Chiefs could screw the Broncos by resting their starters. You've heard everyone else's takes on what they think of Carson Wentz in that ball game. For right now, I'm going to take the safe pick and pick the Broncos to win. I know we've seen crazier things in sports. Since he wins this game that's on TV right now, they're currently up 10-0. And, nice grab. And since he wins this game, and then either Miami lost and then Denver lost. But, and I'll just mention this briefly. Whether the Bengals make the postseason or not, I think Zach Taylor's time is up. You can't waste a season like the season Joe Burrow has had. Like, there's an actual debate on whether he should be MVP despite the Bengals record, you know? But with that being said, this has been the definition of what more does a quarterback have to do to win. And that begins and ends with the coach. In my humble opinion, he's got to go. He got to go. If I'm on an island on that, so be it. But I think come Black Monday,
not going to happen. It's not going to happen if they make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs,
oh no, for sure,
it's going to be.
No, yeah, they wouldn't fire.
It's going to be. Oh my God! Look at what the Bengals did. They had a losing record. They went on a winning streak. They made the postseason when they shouldn't have.
Yeah, no way in hell he gets fired if they.
So that alone protects Zach Taylor's job.
Well, sure.
If they don't make it, then yes, he probably will be fired.
You don't get fired if you make the playoffs unless your name is Dwayne Casey.
Well, look at the times that Jason Garrett made the. Hold on a second, hang on, because people were calling for Mike McCarthy's job, and they were winning 12 games. They were calling for his job a year ago.
That's the Cowboys. You know what the Cowboys do. You know what Jerry Jones is about. It's not the same thing.
It is, but it isn't. But okay, you know. But in the same context, though. In the same context, because we talking about if he makes the playoffs, that's a reason to keep him, right? I remember when they had Jason Garrett, and they were like, "Okay, fire him. He needs to go." Then he'd make the postseason, and that's a reason to keep him and everything. So, no. With that being said, this is just my opinion. I'm like, look.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think he's not a good coach, but if they make the postseason, that's going to be the reason to keep him.
No. I'm a realist. No, I'm a realist. No, I agree with you on that one. It's just, like I said, in my humble opinion, he's got to go. Because from what Burrow did this season, the Bengals should have 10 fucking wins.
No, I'm telling you, if you put Ben Johnson with this Bengals offense, they would be something serious.
Yeah.
Their offense already is something serious. What they need is more talent on defense or a better coordinator. The offense isn't the problem.
Yeah, but Zach Taylor has made
the last 3-4 years.
Zach Taylor has also made a lot of poor decisions that's been covered up by the Bengals' talent. So don't be distracted by that.
At a minimum, the defensive coordinator got to go. That defense is horrible. It's trash. At a minimum, he's got to go. You know? So if they're going to keep Zach, whatever. But that DC, he should go. And if they decide to cut Zach, and if they make the playoffs, they probably would keep him. You know, but in my opinion, I'm looking at what Joe Burrow has done this season.
For example, when the Eagles played the Cincinnati Bengals, there was a play on 4th and 1. 4th and 1, you need a yard. You called a screen pass to Jamar Chase that got completely blown up by Cooper DeJean in the backfield. You need a yard. And these are the plays that you're calling. This is a coach that we're talking about right now. So he's obviously not a top-level coach. He's been there for a few years. Yes, they made the Super Bowl, but overall, in totality, there's better options. But we'll have to see how the rest of it plays out. They don't control their own destiny. Even if they win, they obviously need help. So if they lose, don't make the playoffs, there's not really a reason to keep the guy.
Black Monday, exactly. You call a wide receiver screen and you got Chase Brown in the backfield. That should have anybody beside them.
That was like some Brian Johnson shit. Oh, that's all the Eagles did last season was 30 screens all the time.
And you got somebody in the back like a 4th and 2 or something, and you got like Gainwell can get that, right? You know?
No.
But then you call in wide receiver screens and stuff and seeing stuff like that.
That's why the guy got fired. That's why he's not here. That's why they got Kellen Moore.
I understand that the game gets innovative and everything, but at the same time, you got to go.
That's not innovative. Like there's nothing innovative about that.
Yeah, I mean, but no, when you got a solid back in the backfield and he's getting yards for you, you give him the ball. You could even sneak it. That's cool. Have a design quarterback run, but you want to throw a wide receiver screen on the 4th.
Yeah, get off the stick, Minnesota. You're down 20.
So with that being said, that's all we got for this playoff scenario for Week 18. And when we come back, it'll be our non-sports topic. Don't go anywhere. Got to pay some bills. Be right back. I'm going to hit this crown royal harder than Mike Tyson hitting somebody in 88. So for the non-sports related topic for the evening and how we're going to begin this year is asking the panel and those in the comments, feel free to chime in. We'll highlight you on the screen. So it's a reflection topic. What was your greatest personal improvement in 2024, and what do you want to improve on the most in 2025?
Wow, straight up copied and pasted my text.
JT, starting with you. What do you got, man?
It was just a really hard year for me. A lot of things didn't go the way I wanted them to, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes you have rough stretches like that, but you gotta find a way to keep your head in the game. So, first half of the year, everything felt like it was just kind of falling apart. So, to just kind of put a sports analogy, a sports spin on this, I kind of looked at it around June, and I said, things aren't going the way, and I don't know how the rest of the year is going to play out, but I gotta stay focused and find a way to keep my head in the game. So I don't know what's going to happen for the next 6 months, but I'm going for it. Just like you see a team that gets their ass kicked in the first half, but something happens and they somehow get that first drive going, and you defer on the kickoff, get the second half kickoff in the third quarter to start. You get a good drive going. Sometimes that's all it takes to do something. So a lot of hard work and a lot of things that I started to do well the second half of the year, carrying the momentum to now. So I'm happy about where things are at and where things have the potential to go for me in my personal life and my career and everything else. So just got to keep working and grinding at it. And if things happen like last year, I know not to get discouraged by it because, I battled through stuff last year and, I was resilient. So just got to keep doing the same stuff.
All right. And Ken, what do you got, man? What is your greatest personal improvement in 2024? And what do you want to improve upon most in 2025?
I think 2024 it was, maintaining my consistency being consistent. As I think I did a pretty good job on that all 2024, and going in 2025 is just keep the gas on the pedal. I want to be even more consistent. Going to the gym, doing my shows, just being very more consistent. That's all. Consistency. 2024, 2025. I'm just preaching consistency.
Okay. All right. And then Dom, what do you got? What was your greatest personal improvement in 2024, and what do you want to improve on the most in 2025?
I didn't say personal improvement for 2024, but like I put because everybody knows New Year's resolutions are bullshit. But I put it out there like, I don't know, a couple weeks, mid-December 2023. For 2024, I said, next year, I'm going to listen to the good advice that my friends, family, loved ones give me, and I did. Because, your friends, your family, your loved ones, rarely, if ever, will they steer you wrong. They hardly ever give you bad advice. And I took that, and it worked out well. As far as 2025 goes, to be honest, like, I got to fight harder, get back in my life with my kid, because it's been a struggle. I ain't seen him since, when was it? No, summer of 2024. It's a whole mess. I don't even want to get into it, but we're stacking chips, in contact with the lawyer, and about to hit her where it hurts. Please believe.
All right. No, definitely, man. That's the most important. You got a seed. You only get one father, man. You know what I'm saying? So fight like hell. Do what you got to do, man. I would say for myself, my greatest personal improvement in 2024 was improving on being more reliable. People know I do a lot for Sideline Sports. I don't complain. I never will. I love doing this. I love being a part of this network. So I produce a lot of shows. I have a lot of say and stuff, and then also co-host, and part of a lot of shows. I'm just happy to be a part of something that matters. And Najee Harris, 1 yard touchdown rush, 10-6. But yeah, as far as that goes, is me being reliable and being the one that can make things happen. And then what I want to improve on in 2025 is that as well. Also, I want to get back in the gym. I stand to lose about 10, 15 pounds. I'm not terrible, but if I can get back down to the size I was in the military, that'd be great. So that's what I definitely want to do. Definitely getting to the Super Bowl next month and everything. Also this summer, Craig's getting married, y'all, in Cancun. So I'm being down there.
Unconventional Kings.
Damn right, unconventional.
I
They
just
say
thought about that the
man.
other day randomly while I was taking a piss.
You quit
I'm like,
saying
man,
it.
I ain't heard a shout out.
I know. I know.
Forever.
It's coming. But no, shout out to him and his fiance. They get married in Cancun and everything. I'm gonna be down there and stuff. So that's what I'm looking at doing, and then everything else is just following, how the chips may be. James alluded to taking it 6 months at a time. That's a really great measure to go by. Sometimes 6 months is enough to kind of tell you a lot, whether you should keep going or whether you should fall back.
6 is a lot. I break it down into quarters.
Yeah. And some people do quarters also. I mean, you think about it, employers do quarters, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So no, that's actually a pretty good way to go about it as well. And then some people they live day to day. They really do. They live day to day. A lot of us are lucky to be here and everything. So I understand that mindset. Taking it day to day, but it's also great to have goals and something to shoot for, something to win. If it's something to be won, go win it. No matter how small or how big it may be. It's just more notches under your belt, more bullets in the gun. That's all it is. So, but outside of that, that's all we have. Well, wait 1 second, real quick before we go off the air. All right, around the panel, your pick. CFP Orange Bowl, Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame is favored by 2. James, who you got?
Yeah, Notre Dame. I just can't believe in Penn State. I know Penn State has been able to win,
done nothing ever.
For some reason,
they could win this game.
But for some reason, when I look at a guy like James Franklin, I just think the guy's a big fraud. I think he's a fraudulent coach, and in the end, they ain't gonna win. So Notre Dame to the national championship.
All right, Ken, Notre Dame, Penn State. Who you
I'm gonna go with Penn State.
You got Penn State to win?
History being rewritten.
All right. And Dom, Notre Dame,
State.
Penn State. Who you got?
Penn State is like Dante in Clerks when he has to show, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. Penn State would not even be in the fucking playoffs if it wasn't for these 12 teams. Penn State never beats anyone when it matters, ever, under James Franklin, and that trend will continue.
So he's got Notre Dame. All right. Well, it looks like the panel's going to be split. I am taking. Wait, hold on. No, it's Notre Dame. No, I think James, you lone wolfing on Notre Dame. I'm taking Penn State. I think this is the time period now. Penn State may not win the national championship, but I think I think James Franklin is trying to erase the narrative of winning when it counts. And Penn State is looking real good out there. I do like Notre Dame. They only scored 23 points, but they held Georgia to 10. You know, the story of the Sugar Bowl was that Notre Dame defense. You know, I think it's going to be a close one, but I've got Penn State winning that one. And then also Cotton Bowl, playoff semifinal, Ohio State, Texas. Ohio State is favored by 6. James, who you got?
Don't say Texas just because it rhymes with Lexus.
Ohio State's rolling right now. It's hard to pick against them, but I'm going to go for the upset.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay. Ken, who you got?
Ohio State.
Okay, you got Ohio State. And Dom, who you got?
Ohio State. That Ohio State-Oregon game was essentially the national championship, although it looked like a blowout, as it often does when Oregon is in the national championship game.
Well, to be fair, speaking of frauds, is it fair to say Oregon was the real frauds?
Yeah, you said that before. I'm not buying it.
I think Penn State is fraud.
Because that first
Look at who Penn State played. They played Boise State and SMU. But you're going to sit here and tell me this team is capable of winning it all. They're not. They're a product of the soft schedule.
Oh, Penn State?
Penn State.
Oh, absolutely. They shouldn't even be there, period. Shouldn't have even been in the playoffs, period.
Oh.
They got let in.
So
they got 2 cupcakes.
You're going to say Oregon is a fraud when Oregon beat Penn State?
Penn State wins.
Well, what's Penn State?
Just so they can lose to Ohio State by 70 in the national title.
Are we supposed to kiss the ground they walk on because they beat SMU?
No.
Really?
No. What is a Nittany Lion anyways?
It's a mountain lion.
I still don't know.
It's a cougar. It's a mountain lion. A puma. Of course, being a Longhorns fan, I got to ride with my Longhorns. I know we had trouble against Arizona State and everything, and still found a way to pull it off. And Ohio State definitely is rolling. Never ever overlooking them. I think that loss to Michigan really woke them up. But of course, I got to take my horns in this one. It'll be close. It'll be scary. So I'm already prepping myself. I don't know if it's enough. I can drink that day to even cope with it, but I'm going to take the Longhorns. And so with that being said, that does it for our special Saturday edition of the Gauntlet. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button on Silent and on James Tatum's I can't fucking think of it.
Gauntlet Sports Media.
Yes, Gauntlet Sports Media and also on his YouTube as well. So for everybody on the panel, we will see you all. Oh, yeah. Shout out Craig Davis. Shout out Marshall Hill. My unconventional Kings fam. UK3, baby. Let's get it for the 2K25. We will see you all next Friday. Good night, Mobile, Alabama.
Good night, State College, Pennsylvania.
Hold on. Make sure everybody go to the link that's in the comments for Silver, the Beat Barber. He's got his beat in the competition, trying to get his beat in the NBA 2K25 game. It's free to vote. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign up for any account. You don't have to do anything except click the link.
Just go vote, goddamn it.
Vote for the guy.
It's more important than who's the president.
You can vote once per day. So you can vote today, tomorrow, next day, day after. Every vote
go
counts.
Vote today. Go vote again tomorrow.
So make sure you guys vote for the man.
Then again at 12:01 a.m. tomorrow night after the Lions win.
All right.
And that's all we got.
That's all I got.
Dom, say goodnight to somebody.
Yes, sir.
I already did. I said goodnight, State College, Pennsylvania.
He said goodnight to the Mountain Lions. See y'all next week.
Good night to everyone. Happy New Year.